everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I am here with my co-host Caleb. What's up?
Yo!
Man, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Just got finished, this past Friday, me and my wife just binged the entirety of the Critical Role cartoon.
Yeah, I've heard it was good.
Really good. It's really good. Last 3 episodes are going to be posted this Friday, so if anyone wants to go binge it,
now's the chance.
Yep. Because it's only 9 episodes. The next Friday it'll be 12.
There we go. Well, that is very cool. Very cool. I am really excited about the stuff that we're talking about today. So,
yeah, boy.
Before we get any farther, though, let's go ahead and talk about our patrons. So a huge thank you to, of course, all of our wonderful patrons who support the podcast. Thank you to Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Master of Isa, Mocha, Mr. Herbies, Scuzz Daddy, Witchcrafter Main 2022, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Leela, Damian Zink, Dank Nugs, Dino DNA, Mountain Man, Myth Oceanus, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Rudolph, Sneaky Links, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. And of course, if you want your name read off at the beginning of the episode, you can join our Patreon. We have tiers starting as low as $1. And the $1 tier does get your name read off on the podcast. So if you are interested in that, you can find a link to that in the link tree down below. Also, if you want to support the podcast at no additional cost to you, you can go ahead and use our TCG Player affiliate link to buy the cards that you would already be buying, and we get a little bit of a cut on our end for the cards that you would be buying. So it doesn't cost you anything extra. Just click the link and then it'll bring you to the TCG Player homepage, and you're gonna be like, I don't know if it's working or not, but it definitely is, as long as you clicked on our link last.
Yes. It doesn't really give you any sort of indication that you've come to the website via an affiliate link, which they probably should fix.
Yeah, it's really not very intuitive.
But just know, if you click on our link and it just brings up the web page, you got it. You buy anything, we get the kickback.
Right. You're there.
Yep.
So the only way that you can really tell is if you look at, after you click on it and you go to TCG Player, if you go to the actual URL itself, like if you look at the URL up in your web bar, it'll actually say the top cut in the URL.
Yeah.
So you can tell if you look at the URL, like, did I do it right? Well, it says the top cut up there at the top, like tcgplayer.com / blah, 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 campaign affiliate, blah, 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 equals the top cut. And so that's a quick way to tell if you do want to look at it that way. But then once you click on another page, it will go away. But don't be alarmed. That's fine. It's still working. So,
yep.
But that's how you can support the podcast at no extra cost to you. And of course, if you are on Spotify, be sure to give us a follow. If you're on Apple Podcasts, be sure to subscribe, or whatever they call it on there. Same thing with YouTube. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. And be sure to leave us a review if you're on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to have your review read out on the podcast, be sure to leave it and let us know, and we read them out on the podcast. So we do want to, of course, get on into the main content. Now, something to think about is the first thing we're going to talk about is a little bit of quick play news. So we got a message from Konami regarding events for right now. So, to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game community in North and Latin America. As we monitor COVID-19 pandemic developments, we continue to take seriously the guidelines and recommendations from government health authorities and experts. Regional qualifiers for the Battle of Chaos season will continue to be offered only as remote duel events through the third week of March in North and Latin America. We are currently scheduling the first in-person Battle of Chaos season region qualifiers to take place on the weekend of March 26th-27th with strict adherence to local government guidelines. Remote duel regional qualifiers will still be an option to those that are uncomfortable attending in-person events. As we continue to monitor the guidelines set forth by local health authorities, we will provide updates and make changes as necessary. For future events on our schedule, we will provide news on those events as they become available. Please continue to visit our official Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG website and official social media channels on Twitter and Facebook for the latest information. And then all kinds of links. Yeah. Links to their official website and to Twitter and stuff.
Jinx.
Yeah. We thank the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community for their continued patience and understanding during this time. So, this essentially tells us something that we already knew.
Yeah.
Which is the delay of in-person return to in-person play. At least here in America.
Oh yeah, they're taking this whole thing very seriously, which is good to know.
It's kind of crazy though to think, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be taking this seriously. They absolutely should. It's crazy to me to think though that here in America, the country that's usually like, you know, the furthest right-wing first world country in the world, right? We're like the most far right-wing first world country, and yet we still don't have the release of in-person play. But if you look over in Europe, which is typically a lot more, you know, a lot more, it's funny, I want to say a lot more conservative on these issues, but from like a political perspective, conservative is not the word. But, you know, they usually like, they take things a bit more in regards to public safety, and they take things a bit more, you know, they usually lean a bit farther left with how they handle things like this.
Yeah.
As evidenced by when you had all the big first waves of lockdowns, you know, the lockdowns were a lot more serious over there. And, you know, you didn't have people leaving their house and going this place, that place. I mean, they were like real life, like Canada, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas here, you know, like lockdown, quote unquote, but people were still like going to work and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But over there, they've already got in-person play back. You know, like I was looking at stuff this morning, and there's regionals happening like today.
Oh yeah, that's because they've pretty much got it under control over in, I'll just say Europe in general.
Yeah.
Which I know that'll depend by city,
city, country to country. Yeah.
So that's why I'm just kind of blanket statement here, because it's a lot better than me having to look up a list.
Yeah.
So you know they can kind of do that. So it's a really interesting case study.
Yeah, and I mean, I know not all European countries have gotten their gotten everything opened back up.
Yeah.
And obviously masks are required. I think vaccines are probably required too.
Yep.
But it's just interesting to me to see how they've got the it's just interesting to me to see how they've gotten live competitive play opened back up over there.
Yeah.
Not just on a local level, but like on regional level.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, that's it for this. Let's go ahead and talk about some new cards. What do you say?
Oh yeah. I said we go in reverse chronological order. So the one that was listed the latest to the newest.
Okay, so let's start with number 39, Utopia Rising.
Okay, that would be the newest.
Okay, well, you know.
I was gonna say we start with the.
It's all right. We'll start here.
Okay, cool. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to read this one or should I?
I'll read it. Number 39, Utopia Rising. Rank 4 Light Warrior Xyz Effect Monster. 0 attack, 2000 defense. Very different from the Utopias that we've seen in the past. Materials, 2 level 4 monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target one number Xyz monster in your graveyard, except number 39, Utopia Rising. Special summon it in defense position, then you can attach all of this card's material to it. 2. If you Xyz summon, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field.
Now keep in mind that its first effect isn't when it's Xyz summoned, when it's special summoned.
Right, so if this is in your graveyard, you can special summon this, and then you Xyz summon, you can special summon this guy from the graveyard, and then that triggers his first effect.
But he doesn't have any material.
Yeah.
You'd have to bring him back with something like Xyz Reborn.
Yeah.
Because Xyz Reborn, as part of its effect, attaches itself to the Xyz monster you summoned, but then it would just shift it over.
It could be an interesting card in like the Utopia decks that you see.
I remember seeing on Reddit, a Reddit thread, somebody being like, yeah, no, listen, you make this guy, and you can end on a field of like Utopia Rising made with that guy's material, and then like 4 other Utopia monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
would just exceed summoning that dude with one Exceeds monster engraved. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Is it good? Probably not. It gives you like 1 Omni Negate with Leo Utopia Ray, and if you have a rank up magic card, it lets you probably also get a ZW for your Leo Utopia Ray, giving you that Omni Negate. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the next card. Next we have Performer Pal,
the greatest duelist.
Yep.
It's just straight up the main character from Arc V, just straight up as a card.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Fun fact:
you got 6 paragraphs of text to read. So.
Here we go. Level 4 light spellcaster, pendulum effect monster, 1800 attack, 400 defense, pendulum scale of 8. Once per turn, at the start of the damage
pendulum
step.
effect.
Yeah, pendulum effect. Once per turn, at the start of the damage step, if a monster battles another monster, you return this card to the hand. If you do, banish a spell from your deck. Also, your monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, have any battle damage you take from it.
Yeah, that's okay, I guess.
A little complicated for just battle protection, but okay. Monster effect. 1. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add a Supreme King Dragon monster, 1 Supreme King Gate, or 1 the Supreme King Soul from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Once per turn during each standby phase, activate this effect. Each player can banish a spell from their deck. 3. Once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, activate this effect. The attacked player can apply this effect. Add 1 of your banished spells to your hand and then discard it. And if you do, negate the attack.
That's so weird.
Yeah, but this is straight up Yuya as a monster.
Is this like good?
I mean, it depends. I guess it depends on the spell that you banish. Because then if it's, if your opponent attacks, you can add it to your hand, then you discard the spell. So I guess it depends on what spell.
Yeah, I guess. It doesn't seem good though.
No. It seems funny and overly complicated for no reason.
For real. All right. Well, let's talk about the last card that we're going to talk about here, which is Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid Neo Tempest Terahertz.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. So, Link 5 Dark Cyberse Link Effect Monster, 3000 attack. Link arrows are top, left, bottom, right, and right. So your left, right, and top, and then your 2 bottom corners.
Yep.
Materials is 3+ Cyberse monsters. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. Negate any opponent's monster effect activated during the battle phase.
Eat your heart out, Warrock.
For real. 2. Quick effect. You can send 1 Cyberse monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card is also treated as the sent monster's attribute. Also, it gains 2500 attack.
That's permanent.
Yeah. 3. This card can make a number of attacks on monsters each battle phase up to the number of its attributes. Okay, so you activate this effect. You can send something that's a different attribute because he's dark, so you can send like a fire, say, and to the graveyard. And then when you send the fire to the graveyard, he becomes dark and fire, plus 2500.
Yep.
And then he can attack twice.
Oh yeah. And the next turn you can do it again. And now he's dark, fire, and water, and has 7500 attack. It can attack 3 times.
Yep.
Fun fact: this card is named after Neo Tempest, the attack for Dark Fluid in the anime. The dub translated the attack as Neo Tempest Terahertz, though it has been noted the TCG seems to ignore Konami cross-media named attacks as of late.
Yeah, so we'll see what the actual English translated name is.
In addition, yes, this card can have multiple attributes, and the second effect is additive, thus increasing its number of attacks each time it uses this effect, meaning you have up to 6 attacks until we somehow get a Divine Cyberse monster, allowing for 7.
I mean, hey, listen, if it gets to the point that a hard once per turn effect boosting it gets him up to 6 attacks, I don't even know what to say at that point.
Yeah, hold on, 6 attacks, and let's see. Oh, let me calculate out how big of an attack stat that would be. 3,000.
What is that? 15,500.
I think.
I'm pretty positive. 2,500 times 5 plus 3,000.
Yeah, 15,500 on the money.
With 5 attacks, that's a lot. That's a whole lot of damage.
Better have 5 set monsters or defense position monsters because this thing doesn't have piercing.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, hey, that wasn't bad. That's it.
Yep. Now the Dark Fluid, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's not the best card in the world. I mean, activates effect once, bam, you got 5,500, and then War Rocks can eat your heart out.
Yeah, I mean,
it also prevents Battle Phase Zeus, but they can just Zeus right before you enter Battle Phase.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But the only deck in the entire game that runs any effects that can only be activated during the battle phase that I know of is War Rocks. So.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other things that you can do during the battle phase. I mean, I could activate Tri-Brigade Revolt during the battle phase.
Ah, that's true. That prevents you from doing that.
Yeah, so, there's tons of quick effects. I mean, Boral Sword.
Well, yeah, but most of that stuff, though, you can just shrug. Oh, yeah, Boral Sword and Avermax.
Yeah.
It stops exactly Boral Sword and Avermax.
It stops a lot of battle phase shenanigans.
Yeah. But most of it you can do, like, right before they enter battle phase.
Yeah.
Because, attempt to enter battle before battle phase, just start activating stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our main topic for today. So, we wanted to take a minute today to rehash something that we talked about a while back, which is some of the best budget decks for this coming format. So, keep in mind when we say budget, that budget means different things to different people. It just does. For me, a budget deck is something under like $100.
Yeah. Whereas for me, it's a little bit closer to $50.
Right.
Personally. For other people, that's anything under $300.
Yeah. So
it differs from person to person. So the way we normally do this kind of thing is we'll say, you can build this deck for under this amount.
Right.
So
and a lot of times when we say under this amount, we really mean you can build it for under this amount, like not including staples.
Stuff like the $20 a piece
Ash Blossoms.
Ash Blossom, the $15 a piece, I think, Infinite Impermanences, which all have cheaper alternatives.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because you have Forbidden Chalice you can get for pennies. Forbidden Lance, if you really wanted to go that route, is also available.
Yep.
For pennies. Which you consider running that in Master Duel, because...
Well, chalices are not pennies. You said chalice?
Yeah.
Chalices are not pennies.
Okay, but they're still like a couple of dollars at most.
Yeah, I mean, about $3.
Yeah.
$2-3.
Yeah, I remember back when I first got in the game, you could get them for like 15 cents a piece.
Yeah. It's more and more being recognized as just like a great card.
Oh yeah. I mean, quick play spell, negate an effect, they gain 400 attack. It can be a battle trick, an actual negate,
right?
All kinds of stuff. Particularly if it's your turn, your opponent's trying to active. Like, let's say they make a Borload Savage, and then you draw for turn, and then you normal summon activate effect. They activate Borload Savage to negate, chain Chalice to negate.
Right.
Or negate. I'm saying negate a lot.
Negate. So, with that, there are some decks, though, that whether it's due to recent reprints, whether it's due to just the original printing being low rarity, whatever, there are some decks that even some very competitively viable decks that are really just not that expensive when you really consider it.
Oh, yeah. Mostly due to recent reprints in the past. I mean, how long has it been since we did another one of these? 3 to 4 months? I remember did one back like last November.
We probably did one around right after the Megatins released in September.
Yes. Since then we've had
Max Gold, Brothers of Legend,
yeah,
Grand
Brothers
Creators.
of Legend, El Dorado, Grand Creators just came out not too long ago.
Yes. So
then we also have the new set coming out soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't think of the name of it.
Well, we just had Battles of Chaos release.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, we just had that one released. So, well, let's talk for a minute about these decks. So we got a list here of some decks. I think some are better than others.
Of course.
But mainly what we're going to talk about here, the first deck we're going to talk about anyway, is we're going to talk about Eldritch. So Eldritch just got all the main core cards of it just got reprinted in Maximum Gold Eldorado. So things like your Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, things like your Elixir of Black Awakening, Elixir of White Awakening, your Haquera of the Golden Land, your Conquistador of the Golden Land, all just got reprinted in, and Golden Lord himself, obviously.
Yeah, the Golden Lad himself.
Yeah, they all got reprinted in Max Gold Eldorado.
And then the previous, actually in Eldorado, you actually got an alt art reprint of the Golden Lad.
Right, and then if you want the original art, I think you have to get it from the original Maximum Gold.
Yes, and that's the OG art as a cheap print. Oh, the only other option there is the secret.
Right, and I think the secrets are still like 70 or 80.
Yeah, but the reprints I think are like $4 a piece, $4 to $5 a piece at most.
Yeah, the alt art I think they're like 6, and the originals I think are like 3.
There we go,
4.
4 to 5.
Yeah.
Now that's due to the alt arts being a little bit more popular.
Yeah, because I mean he looks magnificent.
Oh yeah, no, he is.
Actually, I take it back. The alt arts and the original arts are now both $5.50.
Okay, never mind. Okay,
They're the same price.
Okay, cool. So it doesn't really matter which ones. I personally stick with the alt arts. Like, yeah. I think you get the entire core for like $25.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Now granted, this is not including the $90 you would need, give or take, for Pot of Extravagance.
No, Extravagance is cheap. Extravagances are $10 a piece.
Oh, I forgot they got a reprint too.
Also a Maximum Gold, yes.
Yeah, I completely forgot those got a reprint too. Yeah, so $30, you're looking at $55.
Yep, and if you want to play like a Dogmatica Punishment and...
Punishments or pennies, Winpeg, like your primary targets for it are also fairly cheap.
Yeah, I think
Intis.
Intises are about $5 or $6 a piece.
Even for the gold?
Oh, did it just get a gold print?
It's had a gold printing. The original Maximum Gold gave him one.
Yeah, they're $7.50.
Okay, yeah.
And the supers are also $7.50.
Okay, yeah.
So it's got 2 printings, both $7.50.
You only need really one of those. When Pegasus at Ignister is another good option.
Right, and you can even get the Dogmatica Ecclesias for cheap.
Yeah.
So, because right now Dogmatica Ecclesias are like $7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You really only need one copy of her.
Yeah, no, you literally just run one. That way you have a single normal summon.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to run the Dogmatica Ecclesia.
Oh no, you could very well just run the playset of punishments and then just load your extra deck with high attack point monsters.
I mean, you don't even need the punishments. I mean, that's the thing. You can just put like Torrentials, Solemn Strikes, Solemn Judgments,
Floodgates, not named Skill Drain.
Yeah, goes in match.
Which speaking of which, you do need 3 Skill Drains, which right now are expensive, but it is getting reprint in the
Hidden Arsenal reprint set at the end of February.
Yes.
No, the end of February or beginning of March.
One or the other. We're not 100% sure on that right now. It's kind of up in the air, but it's getting a reprint soon, so that'll kind of drive down the price on the other skill drains a little bit. But your best bet's definitely going to be just getting the reprint.
Definitely, and also I would stock up on the reprint if you have them available and you can pick them up for relatively cheap.
Definitely, because Skill Drain's a really good card, particularly in a deck that does not care about if its monster effects get negated.
Especially being at 3 now, thanks to the most recent ban list. So
the hilarious thing is, then you can also just for giggles. You can run like Beast King Barbaros and
theoretically, yeah,
other monsters that are just we're really big, but you can normal summon us, but we get small.
Yeah, Fusilier Dragon, the dual mode beast. Yeah. But what
Class
I would
1.
recommend if you have the spare budget, because I think it's actually pretty good, is if you're running the Eldritch, if you have the spare budget, I recommend 2 copies of Lord of the Heavenly Prison, which are kind of expensive. They're like $35 a piece.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how you take your deck from being good
to being really good.
Being really good.
Yeah. And the other things that you could do to improve upon the Eldritch deck in time, if you want to kind of slow roll it from an investment standpoint, right? What you could do is you could put in what do you call it? There's a card that I was thinking of that I forgot the name of. You could put in things like Goes In Match, Rivalry, things like that. But you could also put in a train engine.
Yes.
So Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav Max, and Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Juggernaut, Lieb.
You can also run, I forgot the name of the Exceeds. It's an old rank 5.
Oh, Constellar Pleiades.
Not Pleiades.
Constellar Ptolemy.
It's not a Constellar, it's a train.
It's a train?
It's part of the train archetype. I looked it up earlier because I wanted to bring it up and I completely forgot about it.
River Stormer?
River Stormer. It was River Stormer.
Yeah.
Because he's 2 level 5. Yeah. So he's 2 level 5s. You can make him using your trap monsters, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you can just overlay the Gustav Max on top of it.
Right.
Or the Juggernaut Lieb.
Yeah, it's an interesting deck, and there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Also, if you have the budget for DPE, you can run like Cyburst Gadget and run like a Cyburst package with Cynet Minings. And that's also a really good deck.
Oh yeah, it's like Cynet Mining, Lady Debug, which are dirt cheap.
Dotscaper,
which are dirt. The entire Cyburst half of the deck, if you're running Cyburst Eldritch, is dirt cheap.
Right, for sure.
Because this is the only deck where it's actually good.
But the thing is, you use it as a link climbing package to climb into Verte to make a Verte DPE and like Scythe Lock and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you can afford DPE, that is a cool route that you can go. But you don't have to do that. You can just run straight Eldritch.
Oh yeah, no. I know it's like it's an optional Scythe Lock package.
Right.
You can tech on the side.
The deck has a lot of different ways that you can go about it. And without having a lot of extra deck requirements other than like a Link Spider or 2, there's really not a lot that you really need to do to make it work.
Yeah, like literally the only requirement is Link Spider. Everything else is just whatever you want. Just fill with, like if you're running the punishment package, just run a bunch of super high attack extract monsters you have lying around.
Right.
Because then you can punishment more things.
Yeah.
Gives you
more options.
Yeah, higher ranges for your punishments, but then also gives you more stuff to banish off of Pot of Extravagance.
Yeah. I think that it is a good deck, and it's probably one of the best decks in the meta, and you can absolutely build it in a budget. So let's talk about the next deck, which is Prank Kids. Prank Kids is an interesting deck. Most of the deck got reprinted in Maximum Gold Eldorado. Again, you're going to notice a theme there.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I think the entire deck got reprinted in Maximum Gold Eldorado.
I think the only card that didn't get reprinted might be... I remember one of the more expensive cards didn't get reprinted. I think it was like Place or something.
No, Prank Kids Place, I just saw it, 75 cents.
No? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, the entire deck is under $1 a piece out of this set.
Oh yeah, no, because everything got reprinted as the rare instead of the premium gold rare.
Exactly.
Except like one or two, I think like the extract monsters are premium gold. But even
Prank Kids Doodle Doodle Doo is 20 cents.
Never mind, the whole thing is rare.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy cheap. You can get things like Prank Kids Dropsies for a quarter. You can get, your fansies, they're all just like a dime to a quarter.
Okay,
so
let's when guesstimating the price of this, let's just assume it's $1 per playset.
That's way overestimating.
It is, but just getting a playset of every Prank Kid card, I still think you're under $15.
You're probably under 10.
Yeah,
not including shipping.
Yeah, not including after shipping, you're probably under $15, and that's for literally everything for the deck outside of Ash and Trolls and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I would say that you could probably get the entire deck after shipping for $15.
Yeah.
So
depends on if you're getting it all from one person, because then you can get it all bundled together, which might get you the free shipping there.
Yeah, I mean even Meow Meow Mew is in here. and it was a recent printing. So
yeah,
the deck's very cheap, and
it's really good if you know what you're doing.
I will say the best version of this deck is the Brave Token version.
Which the Brave Token package, I think, is $400 a piece.
Yes.
Not per card, per package. Because I know one of the cards is like $100 a piece, and it's ridiculous.
Yes, it is pretty expensive for the Brave Token package, but here's the crazy part. You don't have to run it.
No.
I mean, the deck's not as good without it, but
I mean, no deck is as good without it.
Right.
Specifically Brave Token. Like, the only deck I know of that can't run Brave Token is...
actually, there's a bunch, but yeah.
Yeah, like the main one I can think of is Eldritch. Because they like to run Goes in a rivalry and then lock themselves into light zombies.
Well, I mean, decks like Sword Soul can't do it because they're normal summon monsters.
Yes.
So that's the thing about Brave Tokens is any deck that does not need the effect of a normal summoned monster, so any deck that's not normal summon reliant can run the Brave Token package.
Yeah, easily.
So, but yeah, no, it's pretty. Prank Kids is still a very good deck, and it's very cheap. And you even have, like, within $100 budget, you even have the ability to get some hand traps or flesh it out with things like an access code talker and things like that.
Oh yeah,
because access codes are like $40 for the gold rare.
Yep. Never thought we'd ever say that. The access code is a budget thing where you can build a deck with it for under $100.
There definitely should be more reprints of that card, and that card should be like a $5 to $10 card.
Oh, they need to make a structure deck around it.
A Code Talker structure deck would actually be really cool.
I know, right? Like,
especially if they put like Heat Soul and stuff in there.
Oh, I know. Like, give you an extra deck of like Code Talker Inverted, Access Code, Heat Soul,
Decode Talker,
and an X Code Talker, and then like main deck Signet Mining, Lady Debug, Flame Buffalo, Dots. Just generic.
Oh, heck yeah.
Just generic Cyber structure deck. Let's go.
Yeah,
fill
I would
it
love
out.
that.
Fill out the trap lineup with fill out the reprint lineup with stuff like Torrential Tribute. Maybe give us another Ash Blossom reprint.
Pot of Prosperity.
Wink. Yeah, Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Extravagance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ways they could go.
Lightning
like
Storm.
That. I mean, really, when you think about it, generic Cyburst.deck is actually also a good cheap budget option.
Oh yeah, just a big link climbing tool. The only expensive card you'll have to buy for it specifically is Access Code.
Right.
Which, as we said, is $40. Build the rest of the deck for, let's say, $15.
Yeah, 15 or 20
after shipping.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that deck might be a little bit more expensive because I think Signet Minings are a few dollars.
Yeah.
But I mean, even so, you could build the whole deck for under 100, including an access code, with ease.
Oh yeah.
So you could even do that with Ad Ignister. Ad Ignister, that's a great budget option that you could build for not a lot of money.
Now, to be fair with Ad Ignister, it does have a higher... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, point of entry, not from a cost perspective, from a learning curve perspective.
Yeah, it is a bit combo heavy. As such, it takes some time to kind of learn all those different trees and all those different decision points and things like that. But that doesn't mean that it's not
accessible. No, not at all.
So let's take just a moment, though, to talk about our sponsor, ETB Games. ETB Games is our locals from Alexandria, Louisiana. They sponsor our podcast because they are awesome. And they also are a great one-stop shop for all of your trading card game needs. They have everything you need for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Digimon, whatever other card game you're playing. They have your sleeves, your binders, your deck boxes, your bulk storage, whatever you're going to need. They also have a lot of resources available for all of your tabletop gaming needs. You can buy your figurines, your paint, your
books,
all your books, whatever you need to play tabletop games. They also provide an environment to play those games. They have special rooms available just for D&D and things like that. You also have have a good area where you can sit down and play video games. They really do cater to all of the different communities, and they care about each of those communities a ton. So a huge shout out to ETB Games in Alexandria. Thank you so much again for your sponsorship and your support. And if you want to support us and if you want to check out ETB Games, you can find them in the description down below. So moving on along the budget deck list, we have what is maybe the best deck of the format, which is Phantom Knights, the other PK deck.
Yep.
So Phantom Knights are maybe the best deck of the format. And a lot of that is because of the Scythe Lock or the Brave Engine. But you can actually... both. Right. But here's the crazy part is you can play this deck without either of those things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's not as good.
Oh, no.
But it's still a good deck.
Oh, yeah, no. But the thing about it, though, is that not running the DPE package, not running the token package means you can run a lot more interesting things.
Yes.
For instance, you can run the rank up. You can run the rank up variant, which is probably one of my more favorite variants, if I'm being honest. So basically, what the deck does is that it likes to go second, using board breaking hand traps, board breaking cards, blah blah blah. So that way they can make so they can stop the negates, your opponent's negates, and then they'll turbo into Breaksword, effective Breaksword to pop itself and something on your opponent's field. Breaksword's effect will then trigger since it popped itself, getting out 2 level 4 Phantom Knights. That's 1 rank up into level 4. Make Raider's Knight, who then pops himself to rank up into 5.
Can you tell that Caleb has been playing the deck recently?
Yeah. Another option is just make a random link 4, and then activate the searchable Phantom Knights of rank up magic.
Right.
Which lets you go up to rank 5 or 6.
Yeah. So
it's really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. One of my personal favorite ways is actually the Time Thief Raid Raptor Phantom Knight deck.
Oh my god. That's just rank 4 turbo.
It's not just rank 4 turbo. You can also go a different direction with it and go to where you're doing like the rank up magic stuff into like the
Ultimate Falcon.
Ultimate Falcon, yeah, and the DDD High King Kali Yuga.
Yep.
And things like that.
Hard making them the way you're supposed to in the anime. It's hilarious.
I mean, there's different ways that deck can play, and you can build it so many different ways with so many different cards.
All because it's made up of Phantom Knights.
Yeah.
Because there's so many cards in the game that are very specifically, this card is also a Phantom Knight card. This card is also a Raid Raptor card. This card is also this kind of card.
Right. Phantom Knights, Raid Raptors just kind of go well. And then you can put just a couple of different Time Thief cards in there to make it work even better. So it's a very, very cool deck. If your Raid Raptor, Phantom Knight, Time Thief it can play through like anything. Like it just keeps going and going and going.
Just about. Like I think the only hand trap that just outright stops them is you have to nib at the right place. And if you nib wrong, they'll just shrug and keep going.
Well, the thing is, even if you nib in the right place, if they have like any extenders in their hand, like the thing that stops that deck is the deck bricking.
I was also going to say Droll and Lockbird.
Well, Droll and Lockbird doesn't even do it because a lot of times they're special summoning from the deck or dumping to the graveyard and then special summoning from the graveyard.
Yes, but it does prevent them from hard making
the Kali Yuga and stuff because they can't search the rank up spells.
Exactly, so they have to hard open all of them, and that's not really feasible.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That does make sense now that you say it like that.
Yeah. Also IO.
Well, not that they have to worry about that.
Exactly.
So, the deck is interesting. It's really good and very fun. But Phantom Knights as a whole, you can get the deck very cheap. The Torn Scales, I think, are like $4 or $5 out of the last year's Megatins.
Yeah.
And everything else, I think, is really, really cheap.
Everything else is a common printing for pennies.
Except for Fogblade.
Except for exactly Fogblade, but it's had several printings. So I want to say the most expensive copies are maybe $4 or $5.
No, the most expensive copies are in the 30s.
Okay, fair enough.
Because there's like the original secret rare printings and things like that.
I forget Fogblade comes as secret because I only ever see the ultras.
Yeah, no, actually, no, the most expensive copy is $11 to $15, but
There we go.
You can get a common for like $5. So, and you can get an ultra rare from Ghost for the Past for like $5 or $6.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's a good deck. It's got a lot of different things that you can do with it. You can play like you can even go lean more into the Burning Abyss and do more of like a trap heavy build.
PK Fire. More of an that's kind of an older build.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. You know, with Absolute King backcheck, searching out whatever trap card you want.
Yeah, you can even build just that could be another budget deck, is just pure Phantom Knights. Mm-hmm. I mean, not Phantom Knight, pure Burning Abyss.
Yes.
But with just trap BA. Because things like Torrential Tribute just don't matter to you.
Oh yeah, no, because if you activate Torrential Tribute, you're going to get a whole bunch of effects off.
Right.
And then of course, depending upon who's on board, like if you have a Graph, you'll get a special summon from deck. If you have a Seer, you'll just get one of your BAs back on board for free.
Right.
Both if they're both on field. Or if you had a excuse me, or if you had a like if you had made a Dante and passed.
Right.
You get both their effects off. You just get 2 new BAs on board for free.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with it. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's really good.
The next deck I want to talk about is Tri-Brigade. I mean,
everything's been reprinted.
Yeah, people can say what they want about Tri-Brigade, but it's still just a cheap, good deck.
Oh yeah, like the only expensive card in the entire deck I want to say is just straight up Kit, and that's because she hasn't been reprinted.
And even then, because Tri-Brigade has fallen off so hard,
they're cheap. They're still even cheap by comparison.
Yeah, Tri-Brigade kits are still, well, they're like $5, but
yeah.
I mean, Tri-Brigade kit at $5 is like the most expensive Tri-Brigade card.
Oh yeah, by a lot.
Yeah, so if just for the sake of,
brevity,
just for the sake of pricing all of this out.
Fair enough.
You can get Sure Eggs for $2. You can get Ferjits for less, like $1, because of the reprints. You can get Fractals, Nervals, and Karases for little to nothing.
A lot of you probably have it just in your bulk.
Yeah, Fractals are like $2 for the Ultras or the Prismatic Secrets, which is crazy because I remember when they were $30.
Yep.
You've got Nervals came as common, Revolt came as a common, Karis came as a super in the original printing.
And even the higher rarity printings of those cards are still really cheap.
Right, because they don't really have any competition, right? So Nervals, the most expensive Nervals, the OTS super rare, which is $0.25. But if you want, you can get the ultra rare from the 2021 10 of Ancient Battles for like $0.10. Karis is pretty much the same story. You can get the original supers for 30 cents, or you can get the ultra reprint for 20 cents. So the deck is just so cheap when you consider how cheap all of these cards have gotten. Plus, I'm not gonna lie to you, the deck has fallen off in popularity. So
I think a small part of that though is entirely due to some players just getting tired of running it, because that deck's been around for a year now?
Well, that and incremental hits over and over on each list has made it worse. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, the funny part is that Tri-Brigade, any card with Tri-Brigade in its name has never been hit.
Right, but
it's been everything around it.
Right, so the original version of Tri-Brigade that really took off was Tri-Brigade Zodiac, and then Dryden got banned, Barrage got banned, and okay, well, the deck's not as good. And then 10 key gets limited, and now after all that happens, you're like, okay, well, now it becomes Lyralist Tri-Brigade becomes the main really good variant.
Yeah, and then they ban the Samorg Link, and then they limit Recital Starling. The Recital Starling Link doesn't matter too much. They just don't get that second free search.
I mean, it matters a lot. But the point is, they did enough to really hit the deck.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to that, that leaves pure Tri-Brigade as pretty much the best version of the deck. So you're looking at 3 Rescue Cats, which are like $3 to $4 a piece out of the Gold Series.
Before, there were 10 a piece, thank God.
Oh, the commons were 10 to 15 a piece.
Yep.
So, but your Rescue Cats, you're looking at like $3 or $4 a piece. The entire Tri-Brigade core for all of your monsters, you're looking at maybe $20 to $25.
And that's going like max rarity on it.
No, that's not going max rarity, but still, it's not that bad. And then you just pretty much have your hand traps. So things like Ash Blossoms are 20 a piece. Things like, and you could run things like Monster Reborn are just great in the deck.
Yeah, Harpy's Feather Duster, Regeki, just for filler.
Yeah, you can literally run just a going second version of the deck.
Oh yeah, just run through Regeki.
I mean, you can do that now.
Yeah, which I think is hilarious. Could you imagine your opponent like sets up a board and they're like, all right, I got this. Activate Regeki. Negate. What now, son? Activate Regeki. Crap.
Yeah. And the beautiful part is that one Fractal or one 10 key or one Foolish Burial turns the entire deck on.
Mm-hmm.
So, or one Rescue Cat. So whenever you have that one card that turns the entire deck on like that, you know, these one card starters,
which there are 8 in the deck, by the way.
At minimum 8.
Yep.
Really, when you think about it, you could probably do it with more, depending on other cards in your hand, really. But yeah, those 8 cards, the 3 Fractal, the Foolish, the 10 key, and the Rescue Cat are all one card stars. And then if you want to run a small Zoo package, for that way you have access to Zeus, then you can run like Rat Pierre and Thoroughblade, and a normal summon Rat Pierre is also full combo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mostly you have to have a single Tri-Brigade in hand, but still, it's still very good.
Yeah, it's literally a Zoo monster plus a Tri-Brigade in hand. Boom, full combo.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than that, but close enough.
Yeah. Oversimplification.
Yeah.
For sake of brevity.
Yeah. So what I would say is, Tri-Brigade is good. I'm gonna let you know now though that as much as I enjoy Tri-Brigade and I think it's a good deck, it's not as good as other things in the meta. I'm just gonna let you know that more than likely Eldritch is probably just a better deck. You know, Phantom Knights is probably just a better deck right now, maybe. And it kind of depends. I mean, my Tri-Brigade build has a Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer package in it.
Yeah. My PK build also has a, DP. But like
pretty much anything can have a DPE package these days.
Just about anything that can make Verte.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, the deck is good, but you just have to decide how you want to build it. But that's with all these decks. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Next, we can talk about Dinosaur.
So the only reason why we haven't brought up Dino before is entirely due to one singular card.
Animadorned Archosaur.
Which, for a while, I think they peaked at, what, 75?
Pretty much, yeah. That's about right.
Yeah, they peaked at 75. They settled around about 50.
Yeah, the lowest that they got
until
was really
recently.
like 35.
Yeah, until fairly recently.
Right.
Now, what are the secrets at?
Secrets are $11.
How much is the reprint?
$1. So, yeah.
Yeah, so now the most expensive card in the entire deck, I want to say, is... Originally, I wanted to say Logia or Dolka, but those also got a reprint. Giant Rex is a common printing.
Did Giant Rex get a common printing?
I think.
No, it got a rare in Max Gold Eldorado.
Got a rare. Thank you. I couldn't remember if it was a common or a rare in Eldorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there were no commons in Eldorado.
That's what I mean. I don't remember if it got a common in something that I forgot about, or if it got a rare in Eldorado. I couldn't remember which. I knew it got one or the other.
Yeah, and then like Dolko is in Eldorado.
Logia.
Yep. So, and Dolko is also as an ultra rare in King's Court, and those are only 50 cents.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah. So like the only expensive card that the entire deck can run, I want to say, is Access Code.
And really, you really don't need access code because the deck
No.
already kills so easy with
Yeah.
UCT.
Oh yeah, no. Like you just straight up do not need access code for this. It is optional.
Yes.
We might say that for other decks, access code is optional. We mean the vast majority of when we say that, we mean most people aren't running. Most people are running it, but you don't have to. In this case, I don't know any Dino players who are running access code because they're just better things to run.
I would say that the most expensive card in the deck is maybe a lot of Dino players like to run Pot of Prosperity, which
Yeah.
are like $100 and something a piece right now.
You could just run Pot of Extravagance instead, which are 10,
Right, exactly.
or just opt to not run it at all.
Right. I mean, Pot of Prosperities are 120 a piece, so that doesn't really fit in the term budget,
Yeah, but like we said, you could also just run Pot of Extravagance instead, or you could run because the deck does because the Dinos don't really care about their extra deck outside of exactly Logia or Dolka,
right.
and so that's why they run 3 of each.
Yeah. So, and even when you're running Pot of Extravagance, you can only run. I mean, you can run 2 apiece of Logia and Dolka and be fine, honestly.
Oh yeah, no. Because you only need access to 1 Logia or Dolka at any one point in time.
Right.
You're only ever going to make it once.
And then you have access to a rank 4 package. You can do things like Castel, Abyss Dweller. I mean, you really
Utopia double into Double or Nothing Utopia.
Yeah, I mean, you
for
can
an
go,
OTK.
double. So, the deck's really got some interesting different directions that you can go with it, that you can take it to make it budget friendly, or you can go more of a combo path if you want to invest in something like a Borreload Savage. You can go a really combo heavy path with the release of Scrap Raptor. So it's kind of up to you, kind of depends on how you want to do it. But
along with Scrap Chimera and the Scrap Fridge. There was a time when Scrap Chimeras were what, 40 a piece? 70 a piece? What are they at now?
pennies.
Yeah, because it got a reprint.
A Max Gold Eldorado.
Yep. God, Maximum Gold Eldorado was great for reprints.
Yeah, it really was. Scrap Chimeras are 15 cents.
Yeah.
So I would say that right now is actually a really great time to be wanting to play budget Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there's really not that many cards that are outrageous, gotta have them to play cards. The most expensive cards really in the game that you really need are things like Infinite Impermanence, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Nibiru, Droll and Lockbird. And even then there are hand traps that are great hand traps that you can get for cheap. You can get Effect Veilers for a relatively decent price, $2-3.
A couple of dollars a piece.
DD Crows you can get for cheap. That's a great card right now.
Lancia's dirt cheap.
Right. So there's
Dimension Shifter if you're feeling risky.
D-Shifter's a little bit on the pricier side. I think they're like $8 or $9.
I got mine for like $3 a piece.
Really?
Yeah.
The crazy part about Dimension Shifter is that it still doesn't have a reprint.
Yeah.
And as of right now, lowest verified is $8.
Okay, so they've gone up recently. Because like I said, I got mine for like $3 a piece.
Well, it's because they're used in Fluanderies.
Fair enough. When I got mine, they were using exactly Madolce and nothing else.
Right. So,
because I could combo off and still activate at the end of my turn.
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh's been around for so long at this point that there's so many different budget alternatives and budget options for so many of these cards.
Can't afford Infinite Impermanence.
Effect Veiler or
Effect Veiler, Forbidden Chalice. And then if you're really feeling it, Breakthrough Skill or Fiendish Chain.
Yeah.
They're not near as good, but
they still have their uses.
Because Breakthrough Skill is 2 negates, spell speed 2 negate, and then a banish. You can banish it from your graveyard to also do a negate. Fiendish Chain unfortunately has a target, but it's basically a worse Fogblade.
It is a worse Fogblade.
And the only reason why it's a worse Fogblade is because with Fogblade, the equipped monster can't attack, activate its effects, or be attacked.
Right.
Fiendish Chain, it can activate its effect or attack.
Right. All right, well, that'll pretty much do it for today's episode. Let's talk about the podcast question of the day.
Yeah.
So the last podcast question of the day is, what cards would you like to see get an OTS Ultimate Rare? So we did have a ton of replies, of course, to this, as one would expect. And a lot of people got some really creative answers here. So, of course, we had tons of people saying Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom, Ash Blossom. Everybody wants to see Ash. But we've also got some stuff like Borreload Savage Dragon, Boral Sword Dragon, Access Code Talker, Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf for Helio, all really good. Wind Up Zenmayo and number 70, both good options. Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche.
That'd be really cool.
Yes. Alistair the Invoker, please no. Don't provoke them. Elder Entity Intis would be a cool one. Armageddon Knight, Nadir's Servant. Pot of Extravagance, I think that would actually look sick.
Yeah.
Pot of Prosperity, give us a budget reprint first.
Give us a common, please.
Yep. Downard would be a cool one.
Downer would be a really cool one.
Yep. Appaloosa.
Yeah, Appaloosa would be really cool.
Yep. Diviner of the Herald. True. Because it does carry a lot of the ritual decks right now. And Verte Anaconda makes a lot of sense because it's high impact. Triple Tactics Talent. Artifact Lancia. Lancia would be sick.
Oh, yes, it would, because it has all those bright colors, which mesh really well with the dark from the ultis.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Polymerization.
That would look super sick, especially if they did the original art, not the alt art.
And see, I was thinking the exact opposite. I was thinking the alt art would look better.
The reason why I say the original art, not the alt art, is because the original art's a lot brighter.
Is it, though?
It is, because the alt art, which technically is the original art.
Oh! Okay, so when you say original art,
I mean,
you mean the alt art.
Yeah, the one where like the center of the polymerization circle is kind of off center.
And it has like a card that you can see.
Yes.
It's like the anime art.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I mean when I say the alt art.
Okay, that's why I said technically the alt art is the original art.
Right.
Yeah, so we were agreeing on the same thing, we just said it differently.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That being said, don't get me wrong, the normal art, I guess I'll call it.
The original art. I mean, it is.
No, like the normal art, the one that is like got printed all the time and didn't get the
the original art.
Yeah.
It is the original art. It was printed in LOV.
Yes. That would also be really good, the ulti, again, because of the bright colors.
Yeah, but the anime art would be so much cooler.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just because it looks cooler in general.
Right. Baron de Fleur, that would be cool. Dude, I can't get over polymerization. That's such a good pick.
I know, right? Such a niche pick, too.
Yeah. Would love to see M-Pen, but better cards overall is what I really want. True.
Fair.
Dark Necrofear, Monster Reborn alt art.
Ooh, with the Ankh. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Shureg. Oh, God, yes. Please give me the ultimate rare Shureg.
Oh, baby, a triple.
I would spend all of the money that I had on alt art, on ultimate rare Shuregs. I'm just going to say that. I would.
I mean, fair.
I would love that. Harpy's Featherstorm, Skill Drain. Skill Drain ulti, I hate to say it, but it would look cool.
It really would.
Here's the best one. Crooked Cook.
Oh my God.
That would look so good with the flames.
It would. It really would.
Mermail Abyss Megalo. That would look cool. Sylvan Princess Sprite or Ghost Mourner Moonlit Chill. Yeah.
Either one of those would look really cool because of the bright colors.
Yep. OG anime art Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Ah, which I think we got. Yeah, No, they mean the.
The one where the one that like Kaiba has.
Yeah, like, are you talking about the one?
The one from Structured at Kaiba, not from Legend of Blue Eyes.
I was about to ask, like, are you talking about the one from Structured at Kaiba or?
Yeah. The Structured at Kaiba one where it's like got the dark blue background.
Yeah.
Like OCG has an ulti of this.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Yeah, give us the ulti, please, Konami.
Yeah. The only issue is they would do it in an OTS pack, which would be horrible.
I mean, it would.
I don't want it to take up an OTS pack slot.
I mean, if they put the Blue Eyes ulti in OTS, they would have to then put like, I don't know.
Could you imagine an OTS where the 3 ultis are Dark Magician, Red Eyes, and Blue Eyes?
Oh my God.
It would be the worst OTS ever.
Oh yeah, but no, what I'm saying is like they would have to do like for one of them Blue Eye, like one OTS do Blue Eyes, Pot of Prosperity, and I'm trying like Abyss Dweller or something like that.
Abyss Dweller already has an OTS.
I know, like a very commonly used, very good extra deck monster.
I mean, would it have to be an extra deck monster?
I mean, from what I've noticed, has always been an extra deck monster, a main deck monster, and then a spell or trap.
I guess there is some truth to that. Now you've got me curious about all the different OTS packs and which ones have that.
We'll look into that later.
That's something for another time.
Yeah.
The alt art Eldritch.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
If they do an OTS pack with Eldritch in it, it's not the alt art, I will be upset.
Yep. Junk Warrior would be kind of cool. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.
It got a Starlight.
Another Sure Egg Truther. Let's go. Foolish Burial. That would be expensive.
Yeah, very.
Witchcrafter Madame Vare. Celine would be cool.
Ooh, yeah.
IP Masquerena. Either art I'll take.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Dragon's Prison. That would look good.
Mm-hmm.
Personal unrealistic pick. Minerva Exalted Lightsworn. Personal realistic pick. Hope Harbinger.
Either one are cool. I really like both of those.
Rhoda. Ooh. Winda. Please no.
God, no.
We want that card banned, not reprinted as an ultimate rare.
Listen. My opinion on it is, I played the deck. I hated making Winda.
Yeah. Salamangreat Almirage. Yes.
That would be nice, especially because it just got a reprint as a more accessible rarity.
Yes.
Outside of the Ultra.
Tatsum's idea I like. The Nightmares.
Ooh. Yeah, they would look really nice because they're all super bright.
Yes.
Because they're all ex-Mech Knights, basically.
Phoenix would look amazing.
Unicorn will look amazing.
Yes. I mean, they all would. But Phoenix is the one that I would like to see most.
But then they'd have to unban Mermaid and Goblin.
Yeah.
But do we really want that?
No, they don't have to unban Mermaid and Goblin, but like, dude, Phoenix would look so good as an ulti.
Oh, yeah.
From the Discord server, we got some other great answers. Access code, of course, Ulti Shureg again, because I love you people. Some virtual world ultis would be very welcome. That is true. Virtual world ultis would be very cool. More Ash Blossom, of course, access code, things like that. But yeah, I gotta say, my personal favorite picks are Polymerization, Shureg, and the Nightmares. So.
Same. Yeah.
But that'll wrap us up for today's episode of the podcast. So let's go ahead and give you the new podcast question today is, what card are you ready to see get a nice, cheap reprint?
Oh, for me, it's Pot of Prosperity.
Yeah, I would like to see Pot of Prosperity with a cheap reprint. The other one that I would really like to see is give us more Ash Blossom and Imperm reprints.
Yeah, Ash Blossom, Imperm, and Lightning Storm. That'd also be really nice.
Yeah. I would like to see Ash Blossom and Imperm getting reprinted in structure decks like MST did back in the day.
Yes, where it's like buy 3. I want it to the point to where people are just like, hey, you're new to the game, yeah? Here's just a playset of Ash Blossom.
Literally.
Because I have like 15 of them because it's been reprinted 15 times.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Ash Blossom has been reprinted almost that many times. Think about that.
Oh no, I mean like it's been reprinted in 15 different structure decks.
I mean, yes.
And it has a structure deck printing.
Ash has 8 printings. 8.
How much is the common structure deck printing?
$28.
From Soulburner.
Yes. The cheapest version is $26 from Dual Power for some reason. Think about that. Also, by the way, I'm just going to put this out there. If you're going to buy Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, you may as well just buy the secret rares for $60. If you're going to pay $30 for commons...
Well, to be fair, if you decide just to get the secrets, you could get 2 of the commons for one cop for one.
I guess.
That's the way I look at it.
I guess actually looking a little bit closer at the prices, the secrets are $75 for an unlim.
Yeah.
And the commons are, upon closer inspection. Oh, well, they're bought out. Okay, so there's only 5 listings.
Okay, they got bought
out.
It's
28.
Recently. Yeah, they got bought out recently.
They're all bought out.
Oh no, that is no bueno.
There's only like 40 Ash Blossom listings that aren't secret rare total across all of the other 7 printings. Max Gold, Alt Art, Legendary Collection Kaiba, Dual Devastator, Dual Power, Common, Shadows and Valhalla. All of those combined, there's only like less than 40 printings. There's less than 40 listings. That's insanity. Anyway, okay, that's it. That'll wrap us up. Everybody, be sure to tune in every Tuesday and every Friday for new episodes of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. Check us out on Discord. You can find links to the Twitter and Discord in the description down below. And of course, if you would like to support the podcast, you can find our Patreon in the description down below, as well as our TCG Player affiliate link, which all you do is click and then shop. And when you buy the cards you would already be buying, if you want to buy some of these budget cards, every little bit helps. So if you want to buy one of these budget decks, go ahead, buy the whole Eldritch deck for $20. Just click on our little code first, and that will help us get further, and we appreciate it. So thank you, of course, everyone, so much for listening to today's episode. Like I said, every Tuesday, every Friday, 4 new episodes. And in the meantime, have a great week.
Take care, everyone.